Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So this is Daira. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So I'm doing things a little bit differently. I'm just going to start off my video telling you what I'm going to do on screen because it's just easier for me than having to go back and do a whole bunch of how you call that, voiceovers, a whole bunch of voiceovers. So my client wants a full blonde highlight. I have done her hair before, and I can tag it somewhere here where we did her hair previously. Now she's back and she wants the same thing. She wants full, like a lot of blonde highlights. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to show you what I am using. Alright guys, so obviously this whole not doing voiceover thing did not work out for me. The day got too hectic at the salon, so I just couldn't record how I wanted to. But this is what my clients before looked like. We're laughing because I really tried to like show all around without looking crazy. But this turned out to be a process because she didn't exactly like the end result, and I take the blame for that because I could have asked better questions during the consultation so that we were both on the same page as to what she wanted. So I'm not blaming my client. I'm just making it clear. I'm not blaming my client. I'm blaming myself for not following through and making sure that we were both clear on what we're doing. All right, so she originally asked me for highlights. That's what she booked for. The photos that she showed me were highlights, and I also asked, does she want to have more blonde than her natural color? Because the pictures that she showed, there was another color added in, so the base color was different from the person's natural hair color, and she did not want that. She wants to use her natural color as a base. She did say that she wanted to see more of the blonde than of her natural color. So I'm going through and I'm applying highlights. I am teasing the hair so that the highlights can blend into the natural without being so blunt at the beginning of the highlight. So that's why you see me teasing them. Now her hair does lift nicely, so I didn't feel the need to use foils. I just used the foam to insulate the hair. So in the back, I'm just doing like a slight diagonal on each side, and then I do a parting in the middle. She did come in with her hair natural, so I'm just brushing it through to make sure that I can have an easier application when I go through the hair. So as you can see here, like I said, I'm teasing it and then applying the lightener, which I showed you. I'm using the blonde solution, and I'm only using level 5 developer because her hair is virgin except for the very ends, which is the leftover previous color that we had done. And we are doing a trim, so with the trim I will get rid of that last little bit of color on the ends. So when I do these foils, I just like to go through and make sure that it's fully saturated so that I don't have any, so I can have it a consistent, even lightening. When I got to the top, I did diagonal partings all the way up, and I took smaller sections so that it can be brighter, and I also went up all the way to her scalp with the highlights on the top because from my understanding, she did want them to the top. That was one of the questions that I asked. I said, do you want a little bit of root? And I always ask my clients this question because sometimes people don't really like that their eyebrows are dark and then their hairline is super bright. So sometimes people do want a little bit of root, a darker root in the front so that it doesn't look weird to them. It's a matter of preference. Some people like it, some people don't. Okay, so here's where things started going left. So I did tone her with a level 8-9 because I wanted to keep her lighter. But I did use a formula that was a little too ashy. So once I shampooed it out and conditioned the hair, and I blow dried a section of it, because I always blow dry a section to show my clients to see if they like it. She did not like it. In some spots, it was a little too ashy. Even in some spots, it was like silvery ash, which, mind you, when I tried to achieve that color, it's hard, but it happened this time without me even making the effort. Throughout it all, as always, as you can see, I made sure to maintain my client's curl pattern as much as possible because she does like doing wash and goes. So it's important to lighten the hair, making sure to keep the curl pattern intact and keep the hair healthy as possible. So now, as you can see, I'm blow drying, and to be honest, I don't really remember if this clip here was the ashier color that she did not like, because I didn't record. I think by the time we got the color corrected, I didn't record the blow drying. So as you can see here, the hair is really blonde, really light, and what I end up having to do was go back to the sink and apply gold. I actually toned her hair a couple of times to get it right, and I kept showing her, and she kept saying to me, it's not like the color from before. And then when we finally looked at the old video before, I realized that before was an ombre. So I was trying to explain to her that it is a different look. And she was saying to me that she thought it was too light. So, I was asking her, did she not like that it was highlighted at the root? So, when she kept saying that it was too light, I I couldn't understand what she meant by that. I was thinking that she meant like the there was too much blonde, basically. Like she wanted to have some more of her natural color in. But eventually, I end up realizing that it was both too light, meaning that it was too many highlights, and also it was too light and level. So, we did blow dry her hair and curled it, because we couldn't come up with a medium point at that moment as to exactly what the issue was, because she really didn't know how to explain to me what it was she didn't like, other than the ashiness. Like I understood the ashiness, she didn't like the ashiness, but with the lightness, we really didn't know what that meant. It wasn't until later on that we realized that it was just both lighter in color and lighter in too many highlights. So she did eventually come back a week later. I tell my clients, if you don't like it, let me know within, a couple days, and whatever I can do to fix it, I will. So she did go home with this lighter version, and then she let me know the next day that it was just too light. So I had her come back in, and what I did was put low lights in. So basically, I put her natural color back in, and then I toned the lighter pieces that I did leave in. I toned them down a level so that they wouldn't be as bright blonde. And I'll show you at the end what that looked like. I didn't record the process of it, but I did get footage of what it looked like when I was done. But moral of the story is, When you have a client, you have to make sure that you and the client are on the same page and you are both fully aware of what it is that you want to do. I I take this mistake as a learning experience. I definitely should have asked more questions. I think I just got a little bit too comfortable that I've done her hair before, and she said she wanted, she showed me a picture and she said she wanted it like it was before, and I totally forgot exactly what we did the first time, that it was an ombre look. And I usually ask clients if they want their root darker, if they want their root lighter. I did ask her, but I don't know if she fully understand what I meant. So I should have made sure that, we were 100% on board with each other before I proceeded. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely a learning experience. Um, I've messed up so many times before, like as stylist, as any professional. When you're learning, you're not perfect. You make a lot of mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes and you figure out ways to do things that will ensure that you don't make the same mistake again. And you just start learning, asking different questions just to make sure that you're on the same page with the client, because you have to remember this is not their profession. So, they may say, for instance, like this, she felt it was too light, and I kept thinking it was, that maybe it was too many highlights, or maybe it was just too blonde, but it was just a combination of things. And it was also the blonde going up all the way to the root, because that does make a difference in what you see in the reflection in the mirror. So, it's just like a lot of little things that you have to ask and make sure that, you're on the same page. Clients can bring you a picture and tell you this is an inspiration picture, but what exactly are they seeing? Are you guys both looking at the same thing? They may just like the blonde in it. I mean, not like the darker color, or like the darker colors, but not the blonde. There's so many different things that your eye catches when you look at a picture. And my eye may catch one thing and their eye may catch another. And I can't just assume that what I'm looking at is what they're looking at. So you just need to make sure you ask a lot of questions and make sure that you're both on the same page with one another to make sure that the end result will be exactly what they're looking for. So this is what her hair color looked like when I was done the first time. And in my opinion, it is a beautiful color. It is a honey blonde color. It just wasn't what she wanted. And this footage here is when she came back. I did put it in low lights, so I put her natural color back in, leaving fewer highlights. And I also darkened her root with her natural hair color so that it is not as bright. And she did end up liking this. I did not take a footage of it. All I have is this after, but I think both colors are pretty, and I'm glad she got what she wanted. Please leave any comments or questions down below. Thank you so much for watching.